Welcome back to a brand new Monday Night Raw review, and in one of the most craziest Monday Night Raws of all time, in Australian, we can't forget this is an Australian Raw, Australian. Every time someone's in Australia, it's an Australian Raw. So Seth Rollins was Australian. Braun Breaker was Australian. His spear was Australian spear. We're just going to have to say Australian after everything. Like Australian Io Sky, Australian Michael Cole, Australian everything, Australian buildings. You have to say Australian or else you're fired. That's what the rules are, buddies. And if you don't believe me, look at the rule book down here, bruh. Look at the rule book down here. I don't make the rules up. Sports Illustrated. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. But we were back in Perth, Australia. Let's get into it. So, we had a number one contenders match for the World Heavyweight Championship where we had Jey Uso, CM Punk, and LA Knight in tonight's match. In the morning, whatever. I thought it was a pretty solid match, but let's get into it. The show kicked off with the Vision and the Crown Jewel Champion and the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. He grabbed the microphone and started acting. What's on my tongue? I don't know. He acted like the Crown Jewel Championship actually means something, which we all know it clearly doesn't. It means this much. In our eyes, it only means something in WWE's eyes because they make big money off of it from Saudi Arabia. So let's not act like this doesn't even matter, buddy. The Crown Jewel Championship means less than me jumping into a WWE ring and literally punching some people. Literally, I mean more than that Crown Jewel Championship. Let's be for real here. But then Seth started glazing Paul Heyman. Started glazing him and said he was blessed. Seth is blessed to be around him and stuff like that. And then he moves on to start glazing Braun Breaker. And saying blah blah blah, and he starts doing the tweaking like, you know what I'm saying? Then he moves on to Bronson Reed, starts glazing him more too, and says and he says 6 months ago you couldn't beat Roman Reigns, but with all my wisdom, now you can beat Roman Reigns. I don't really know what that's supposed to mean, but yeah, and says he's the new Tribal Chief. Acknowledge the Tribal Chief and Tribal Thief. Been telling you, Big Bronson Reed's the new Tribal Thief. Telling you this, acknowledge him. Daily reminder to acknowledge your Tribal Thief and new Tribal Chief. Good to know. And then Seth Rollins says, it's time for a pop quiz. Who is the greatest World Heavyweight Champion of all time and why is it me? And starts laughing. And Seth says, I don't need B&B security. Well, he didn't call him. He just said, I don't need the Vision or Paul Heyman. And he just says, I am the GOAT. And that was pretty much it. After the title raise, and he got some big pyro. Big pyro. But it was time for Penta versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. And let me just tell you, folks, the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, the dirtiest of the Intercontinental Championship, the cleanest, the fastest, the smartest, the tallest, the shortest, and the dumbest, and the smartest, and the greatest looking king of luchadors. Dominic Mysterio came out with his new tattoo, took on Penta, and Penta tried so desperately to take the title away from the GOAT, Dom, but he failed after some chops, even tossing Dominic on the announce table, which did not work out in his favor. And then we finally got Dom hitting some Hurricane Ranas, fighting back against Penta. Penta tried to hit this botched crossbody on the GOAT, but thank God the GOAT was there to save him and make him look good. And nobody in the history of WWE except the GOAT Dominic Mysterio can do a dive to a DDT. Nobody can do that except the GOAT. Nobody can do that. Nobody. He even sent Penta over the barricade and into the ring announcer. He also, Dom, stomped the chest of Penta in like he knows he can always do. But for some weird reason, Penta decided to do a crossbody on Dominic to the outside like he wants to get this championship or something. Like he doesn't care enough about Dominic Mysterio's well-being and health. Which I felt very, very disappointed. But thank the Lord that when Penta was going for the third and final three Amigo, he got reversed by the GOAT and Dom. And where Dom was honoring the late, great Eddie Guerrero, where Penta was discrediting the late, great Eddie Guerrero, was saying, I hate Eddie Guerrero. Where Dom said, I love you, Eddie. I love you, Eddie. And sadly, Penta hit the Penta driver on Dom. But thank God, the greatest wrestler of all time, Dominic Mysterio, kicked out at the 2 count to save his championship reign from ending there tonight. And Penta even got hit with the, I don't even know, the driver, the Mucha driver. I call it that because I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. And when Dom was trying to go for a frog splash, Penta got up, super kicked him right in the stomach, which that hurt Dom. He might throw up now. You have to be careful with Dom, man. Dom actually is a very precious soul. We cannot lose him. And for some reason, Jock Body, Rusev came out, but he got taken out by Penta, and he literally disappeared the next 2 seconds, like he despawned or something. I don't understand. But thank you, after Dom hit this beautiful 619 and a froggy frog splash for the 1, 2, 3. And still, the greatest Intercontinental Champion retains his belt. Let's go, boys. He continues the greatest championship run of all time, beating that fraud and disgrace, Penta. But the Kabuki Warriors, on the other hand, still are carrying on this story where Asuka finds Kairi and is mad at her for losing at Crown Jewel and taking the pin. So, yeah, that was something about Asuka that nobody understood. But then Kairi tried to tell Asuka she was injured, but then Asuka slaps Kairi for absolutely no reason, which is indicating that when Kairi Sane finally turns on this disgusting human being in Asuka, the pop, the crowd, the world is gonna lose their mind for the pirate. I don't know, isn't the Princess Pirate or something? The Princess Pirate, Kairi Sane. I cannot see. Who is that? I think this is Rhea Ripley. Can you guys tell me? Yeah, it's Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley took on Kairi Sane in a banger match, by the way. This match was cooking from the very beginning, where we saw Kairi and Rhea exchange hands back to back in the beginning of the match, and then we see a beautiful suplex on Rhea Ripley giving to Kairi Sane. Then Kairi Sane gave a devastating forearm to the face of Rhea Ripley, leading to them going on the outside, and Asuka taking care of Io Sky taking care of Asuka. I think I said that wrong. I don't know. Put in the comments below if I said it wrong. I don't know. But what I do know is we did see Kairi give a baseball slide to Rhea Ripley as Asuka was dealing with Io Sky. But as we got back in the ring after one of the commercial breaks, we did see Rhea Ripley kick Kairi in the stomach, giving a nasty headbutt. But then when they got into the apron, when Rhea was trying to push Kairi into the ring post, Kairi dodged, letting Rhea Ripley hit the ring post and her falling to the outside. letting Kyrie hit a crazy outside the ring insane elbow. But as soon as they got back in the ring, it failed because we saw Rhea Ripley literally give a razor's edge to Kyrie Sane in a nice kick to the side of the face. But Kyrie did get some revenge when she stomped the chest of Rhea Ripley into the mat after she put her in the Tree of Woe position. And then we see a devastating fall from Kyrie Sane after she got on her shoulders, and boom. Then, sadly, it came to an end when Rhea Ripley hit a headbutt and a riptide for the 1, 2, 3. But after Rhea got in a fight with Asuka, she tried to put Asuka through the table with a riptide, but Kyrie Sane saved Asuka with a kendo stick to Rhea Ripley, letting Asuka hit a DDT on Rhea Ripley for the crazy sell. So yeah, the Kabuki Warriors stand tall after the Rhea Ripley defeated Kyrie Sane once again, and I'm gonna think that Kyrie and Asuka are back on speaking terms, or on good terms at least. Free Kyrie. Though, on the other hand, the Usos are having some problems when Jimmy and Jay got into an argument about what happened at Crown Jewel and how they got uninvited from the Tribal Thanksgiving and the Tribal Christmas. So yeah, and then they just basically say we need to handle our own business from now on. So yeah, that makes sense. But it was time for Bronson Reed to take on Big Jim Uso, where we did see Bronson Reed demolish Jimmy Uso by giving him the world's strongest slam. That's interesting. Nice to know that. But we did see Jimmy Uso give a beautiful enziguri to the side of the big Australian. And then we did see the big Uso booty bump thing until it came all crashing down when you hurt inside. Bump, 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 bump. Where we saw Big Bronson Reed hit a Mommy to Big Jim for the 1, 2, 3. But we didn't stop there because Braun Breaker came out and speared the living shoes out of Jimmy Uso with 2 spears. But finally, when Bronson Reed was going for another tsunami, Jimmy and then Jey Uso came out to save his brother, but he got hit with a big Bronson Reed splash in the corner. But he fought out of it and fought B&B security off. And I thought they're gonna handle their own business and not coming out. You two Usos are very hypocritical, very. But we did see another women's tag team match where we saw, I believe it was Bayley and Lyra Valkyria take on Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. In a pretty okay, solid match. Wasn't the best match of the night, but still pretty solid. Where we did see Lyra Valkyria get thrown into Raquel Rodriguez after she caught her, but we did see this little kick to the face of Bayley from Raquel Rodriguez after this thing with the tag team moves. But of course, like every single women's tag team match, we see the big giant in any match hit the post, get taken out for a little bit, and then after Lyra slapped Bayley to not get some sense into her, we saw Bayley do a dive to the outside on both of them, hit a beautiful elbow from the sky, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was a Rose plan for the 1, 2, 3, and we saw Bayley and Lyra Valkyria win the match. Though, we did see Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, where Paul Heyman was glazing Seth Rollins singing his song, and Seth says for the last 6 months have been great. blah, blah, blah. You know what the last 6 months of Seth Rollins' career has looked like, And then the rest of the division come in. Seth says how proud of B&B Security is and how lucky they are to breathe the air. And then Seth Rollins said, no one can knock me off this mountaintop. Which came back to bite him in the booty at the end of the show. But we did see a little AJ Styles, Adam Pearce segment, and as AJ Styles and Adam Pearce were talking about how great the John Cena versus AJ Styles match was against John Cena, then Dom comes in saying, I feel like I'm the only fighting champion around here nowadays. And AJ says, you know what? This cheater is right. Which, by the way, AJ, I actually disagree with that. Dominic is the greatest. He's not no cheater. He would never cheat. He's a great man, great person, and the greatest luchador of all time. But this led into asking for a match against the tag team champions, the Judgment Day, which, by the way, I forgot they were tag team champions. I'm not going to lie. Have they came out with the belts? I don't even remember. Honestly, can we just get rid of those tag team titles? I feel like it's just way better. Because I already forgot about them. I'm just being joking. I'm not joking. Like, I seriously forgot about them. Like, someone, please tell me, why do we still have them? Like, it makes no sense. But it doesn't, I don't even know. But we did see the Women's Crown Jewel champion, Stephanie Vaquer, come out for an interview and was saying how she's so grateful. And she said she was the only person to win 4 titles in 1 year. Which, by the way, I was there to watch every single championship win of her career in 2025. Which I think is very crazy. She won the Women's North American, Women's NXT, the Women's World Championship, and then the Women's Crown Jewel Championship. That's 4 titles, 1 year. That's pretty impressive, and I don't think we'll ever see anything like that ever again. But then, all of a sudden, we got Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez come out saying, I should be champion and I should be Crown Jewel champion. And then Stephanie says, I'll see you in my hell. First off, am I the only one disappointed that was not Raquel Rodriguez? I kind of wish, I thought it was going to be Raquel Rodriguez since she was the first one to speak. Maybe not. I don't know. I get it that Roxy makes more sense, but like, Roxanne is a little bit younger. Like, I don't think she's 24 yet. And, Raquel has done pretty good in her matches recently. So just please put her. I'm kind of disappointed still that it was not Raquel Rodriguez. But we finally got to the World Heavyweight Championship match. Not the number 1 contendership match, where we saw main event Jey Uso yeet. Where we also saw LA Knight, and we saw the Cult of Personality, CM frickin' Punk, come out to have this match. Where we did see LA Knight have a little match with Jey Uso until CM Punk got into it. We saw CM Punk get dropkicked straight to the chest by LA Knight. Then main event Jey Uso came and did a little dive to the outside on to LA Knight. Then we did see, of course, the famous CM Punk little twisty necky breaker thing. Of course, the running bulldog into the clothesline from CM Punk, like a classic thing he always does. We also saw another beautiful elbow Macho Man style elbow drop from CM Punk. Then we saw LA Knight hit a double megastar elbow drop, and hit him. Bounced off the ropes to hit a double clothesline on both main event Jey Uso and CM Punk. Then we saw LA Knight hit a beautiful superplex on CM Punk that could have literally gone bad because it looked like CM Punk for like a split second was going to land on his back of his head. Which thank God he didn't. But we did see main event Jey Uso give him a Uso splash to LA Knight until we saw CM Punk get hit with a BFT. Then, before LA Knight could get to the pin, Jey Uso pulled LA Knight out, sent him to the steel steps. Then went for a Uso splash, but CM Punk got the knees up, hit him with a GTS for the 1, 2, 3, and as you see right here, Jay's grills came off, which I do feel bad for Jay's grills because they're very important to his mouth, I think. I don't really know. But we did see the GTS get hit. But as Jey Uso was walking away, he got hit with a devastating spear by Braun Breaker. So did LA Knight, and so did CM Punk, and a tsunami to CM Punk as well. And then the Vision were celebrating after kicking CM Punk out of the ring. And then when we all thought it was over, bang! Bang, bang, bang! Braun Breaker hit Seth Rollins with a spear out of nowhere. My brain was losing my mind. I was like, huh? Like, my brain wasn't comprehending what just happened right there. And then he was like, uh-huh? And then he was talking to Bronson Reed and convinced Bronson Reed to hit a tsunami on Seth Rollins. And look at Paul Heyman in the corner. This was exactly my facial reaction. I was like, oh! Bro, that made no sense. Like, it made absolutely no sense. And then we see Paul Heyman fully turn on Seth Rollins, raise both of these jabronis' hands up in the sky with Braun Breaker with the World Heavyweight Championship, and turning on their leader, Seth Rollins, which makes me think that the only reason they turned on him was because Seth Rollins said that he doesn't need them, or he cheated and used a watch on Cody Rhodes, which made them think he couldn't beat him on his own without cheating. Those are my only two conclusions to this craziness that just happened. What do you guys think in the comments below? Do you think that this Seth Rollins betrayal from the division was too soon? Put in the comments down below. Also, Seth has a match with CM Punk coming up soon, because Seth Rollins is the World Heavyweight Champion, and CM Punk won that contendership for the championship. So, does this mean Seth Rollins is losing to CM Punk? Or this is all our rules, and we can never trust CM Punk, or we can never trust Seth Rollins, and this is the rules, which is going to lead to CM Punk's downfall and have him retain? Or is this truly the end of Seth Rollins being the leader of the Vision, and how was he a rise? He already a babyface. Like, what? Yeah, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. But what do you guys think? Comment below, because this was insane. But anyway, have a beautiful day. See you tomorrow. Bye.